Jacky.
And I'm Meghan.
And we're going to be reviewing the Constitution. How does she do that? I can't. Just help.
First, we're going to review the legislative branch. The legislative branch is split into two branches, House of Representatives and Senate. This is because they wanted equal ruling. Requirements to be a member are that senators must be 30 years old and the House must be 25 years old. The main powers are to make laws, and in all there are 435 representatives. There is one representative depending on the population, and a bill becomes a law when there is 2/3 vote. Some of our representatives are Tom McClintock, Barbara Boxer, and Dianne Feinstein.
Next, we will be talking about the executive branch. The main job performed by the executive branch is making laws. Requirements to be in the executive branch is that you have to be at least 35 years old. One of the main people in the executive branch is the president. The president is said to be elected by the people's votes, but truly in the end, the Electoral College, a group of representatives from each state, decides because their votes overpower the people's votes. The executive cabinet is another head of the executive branch. It is a formal group of advisors who are the heads of executive departments.
Now let's move on to the judicial branch. The judicial branch has 12 regional circuits. The judicial review is the power to decide laws conflicting with the Congress. There are 9 justices that are listed in the video. The landmark decisions are that students do not have the First Amendment right to make obscene speeches in school. Number 43 V. Fraser, 1987.
Now let's move on to checks and balances. The authors of the Constitution created checks and balances so that each branch of the government could limit the powers of the other branches. It is very important that one branch of the government can't take action without the approval of the other branches, because then America won't turn into a monarchy with one main power of government, just like England, which we were trying to get away from in the first place. Some examples of checks and balances in action are when President Andrew Johnson vetoed over 20 bills and Congress overruled all of them. In 1918, President Wilson worked very hard on a treaty to end World War I, but Congress refused to ratify it. In number 3, when President Ronald Reagan appointed Judge Robert Bork in 1987, but his nomination was defeated by the Supreme Court.
Now let's move on to the Bill of Rights. Anti-Federalists believe that they needed the Bill of Rights because the Constitution did not declare some of the human rights that they needed. The basic freedoms are freedom of speech, religion, and the right to bear arms. If we did not have these rights, no one would have the freedom and justice that they deserve. For example, if we didn't have freedom of speech, people wouldn't be able to express themselves and express their opinions publicly.
Now we will move on to the living document. The cool thing about the Constitution is that it was written over 225 years ago, and it is still used today. 3 examples of this are that in a recent court case in Michigan about a bank robbery, the man accused stated that his constitutional rights were being violated. Another example is that at the Oklahoma State Capitol, the 10 Commandments outside were removed because they were said to go against the Constitution. But many people complained, saying that it was completely constitutional. And the last example is that the Houston mayor passed a law to allow transgender men into women's restrooms and vice versa. People got mad and rallied up a petition against the law, saying that it goes against the 14th Amendment made to the Constitution.
This concludes our Constitutional Review video. Thanks for watching.